Hey, what's up, everybody? This is our day, day 3 of our project. Sorry, I got like random coughs going on today. This is like day 3 of our project. We're going to be adding our second scene. Here's my beautiful rendering, and yeah, we're going to work through this together. I'm just going to make a video of this really quickly as a walkthrough, and you guys can kind of follow along with me. I'm going to go ahead and close this. Sorry, I've got lots of coughs going on today. This is what we're going to be working on, adding a scene 2, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to save this and leave that alone. And we're actually going to come over and work on this one. Oh, look how great that is. This is the one that's in German that I did. And let's see, maybe one of these is better. We're going to go with this one. This is the one we're going to do. Okay, so we left off yesterday with scene 1. And I've got my instructions pulled up right here. And so we're going to work through these together, starting with scene 2. So the first thing you should have done is come up to Insert and then Scene. And I only have one scene, so we know we still need to do this. So I'm going to Insert File, Insert a Scene. Bam, here I have scene 2. Now, it says change the scene color to light blue in the properties box. So right here, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit because that's very, very small. I may zoom in some more. Right here on our properties, way up top, we're going to click it and we're going to change the color. So you're going to come down to document settings, you're going to click the stage, and you're going to change it to a lighter blue color. Like, I'm feeling this one. So lighter blue. Also, the bell's about to ring. Just ignore it. It's about to be third period. All right, so we did that. Let's go back and check. It says click the rectangle tool to make it black, no outline. Draw a rectangle to make the road. Okay, so really quickly, I did this in my first example, and like we're not going to make it black. That was too much. So I'm going to choose my rectangle tool. I am going to come over to my stroke and turn it off. So your stroke should have a line through it. I'm going to click my fill, and I'm going to actually make this, I'm going to do a custom color, and I'm going to make it like gray, a really dark gray, but like gray. And the reason why is because I couldn't see my tires on the car. Sorry, I've got like an awful cough all of a sudden. So here we go. Super dark gray. I'm just going to draw a rectangle across the bottom, and I'm going to make it the same size roughly as my frame. And I've ran a little bit over here, so I'm just going to click this, and I'm going to just kind of try to get it centered and get it where it needs to be. We're getting pretty close. Right there looks probably pretty good. Yeah, well, and I do want it to be at the bottom. So just make sure it's all where it needs to be. I still have a blue line down there, and that's annoying. So I'm going to punch it down just a little bit. Okay, so no blue line. We've got our almost black but pretty gray street. And next it says draw a rectangle to make a road. Okay, 4. Click the line tool and choose white or yellow and draw lines on the road. Okay, so I'm going to come over here, select my line tool. I'm going to change the stroke to, I'm going to make it like a kind of an orangey yellow. That's kind of not what I was wanting. I'm going to make it this color yellow. All right, and now it just says to, and you can play along with your line. I'm just going to draw one, and then I'm going to go to my selection tool, and I'm going to click it, and I'm going to hit Control-C to copy it. And I'm just going to hit Control-V. And the reason why is I want these to kind of all be the same. Oh, there's the bell. It's time for third period. Yay. And I'm just going to keep doing this. Try to get it about the same distance apart. Try to get them all in a line. Plus, it's easier than just drawing it over and over and over. So somewhere like that. And we could get more precise, but I'm not going to. I'm just kind of showing y'all how to do this. So, and I'm just going to run that off. Okay, so here I'm going to just delete that. And that's pretty good. All right, let's look at our next instruction. Step 5. Create a background of buildings using the rectangle tool. Change the colors of the buildings, add windows, doors, text for buildings. Okay, so I'm going to do this very basically, but you can get very detailed. And the more detailed you get, the better. Like add names to the buildings, add details to the buildings, like colors and different things. I'm going to be very, very basic because I want this to just be very, very quick. One thing I already noticed that I forgot is I forgot to double click and change the name of this to background. So there we go, done. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna just choose my rectangle. I'm gonna turn the stroke off and I'm gonna use my fill to do like a light gray. And now I'm just gonna draw a series of rectangles to be my buildings. So here's a building. And I'm going to change my fill color. I'm going to do some custom colors. I'm going to come over here and make kind of like a blue-gray. Maybe not that dark, but less saturated. Yeah, so maybe something like this. I'm going to try to make this a little bit taller. And change the color again. Give it a little bit of variance, you know, trying to make it a little bit more fun. And we're going to change the color again. I'm going to do another custom color. I'm going to push it over here to like this kind of reddish color, a little more saturation maybe. And I'm just going to make a, I'm going to undo that. Try that again. There we go. And I'm gonna just come back. Basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna fill your entire screen up with buildings. That is your goal. And so I'm gonna do another custom color, maybe like an orangish color, I guess. Let's just see if we can get it a little more brighter and a lot more gray. So maybe somewhere in there. Okay, and I'm going to close the gap just by scooting that over. Okay, so here we go. We're supposed to add some details to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just some windows and doors. I'm going to keep it really, really basic here. So I'm going to select my rectangle tool again. I'm going to do windows first, and I'm going to come and select kind of a bluish color, a lighter bluish color. I'm going to desaturate it a little bit and make it lighter to where it looks kind of has a glassy kind of window look. And then what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to go ahead and give it a stroke. Very, very, very small stroke, like 0.5. You can, do this as you please. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw one window, and I'm going to make it perfectly square. Okay, so there's my one window. And then I'm going to select it. I'm going to hit Control-C, and I'm going to hit Control-V. And, oh, well, you know what I didn't do is I didn't select the whole window. Triple-click it or double-click it, and then I'm going to hit Control-C to copy the stroke and the fill. And I'm going to hit Control-V. And I'm going to hit Control-V. And then I'm going to hit Control-V. And now I have this handy set of 4 windows, and they're all kind of lined up. So I'm going to double-click, holding the Shift key, double-click, holding the Shift key, double-click, holding the Shift key. I'm going to hit Control-C and now Control-V. And now I have another set of 4. And I can just kind of paste these everywhere I want them. And there's like, let's let the bell ring. There's some uniformity to this, which is kind of nice. It kind of looks like, something, and it's a little bit faster. So, yeah. I'm going to paste another one here. Maybe 2. No, just 1. But I do want to kind of overlap these. Okay, so here we go. We've got some buildings. They're not the best buildings, but hey, they're buildings. Next thing I want to do is add some doors. So I'm going to come back to my rectangle tool. I'm going to change the fill to like a super dark gray. I'm going to leave the stroke the same. And I am just going to add a door. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It's just there. I'm going to double click it so I get the door and the stroke. Hit Control C, hit Control V. And Control V again. This time my door is a little bit too tall for my windows, so I may actually shrink the door, or maybe I'll shrink the windows. How about that looks awful. Well, let's just undo that. Yeah, we'll just leave it like that. That's fine. That was the engineer's mistake right there. Yeah. So we're just going to keep filling in these doors. And just going to keep filling them in. I'm going to make this one a little shorter. It's a short door. Well, not much shorter, I guess. All right, so hopefully what I'd like to see you do is add a lot more detail, spend a little bit more time on this than I've spent, and add some more detail to it, make sure it looks really good. Add clouds, add birds, add all this kind of stuff. When we're finished with the buildings, we're on we're on step 6. When we're finished with the buildings, we are going to hit Control A to select them all. So they're all selected. And then we're going to go to Modify and then Group to group everything. So Modify and then Group. And now this is all one group. And then we're going to go Edit, Copy. What we're actually going to do is just hit Control C to copy it. And then we're going to hit Control Shift C, or you can go to Edit and Paste in Place. And I'm going to hit Control Shift V. And now it's pasted the exact same building. So I'm just going to move these over and bump it right up against our other buildings. And we want to kind of get these lined up. And I'm going to just do the same thing again. Control Shift V. Oh, y'all get to hear the announcements and pledges. Ho, ho, ho. You can say them along with us if you want.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
I'm just going to hit the mute button, and you guys can watch. Okay, so as you can see, I've got this really long city now. So let's go to the next step and see what. All right, so we're going to go to Group, and then we're going to group everything together. So let's go up here. We're going to hit Control A again, and then we're going to go to Modify first, and then Group. And now that has now grouped everything together, so we're good. Let's go back and check out. Okay, so they're still doing announcements, so I'm just gonna keep it on mute while that's going, and then I will unmute it. But we're gonna go ahead with step 14, and yeah, we're. Okay, so we're gonna go to frame 180, and it says to set a keyframe. So we're gonna right click, and we're gonna hit insert keyframe. And there we go. We've got a keyframe. So now what we're going to do is we're going to right click in the middle. We're going to create a classic tween. And now we're going to go back to our keyframe at frame 180. And we're actually just going to move this all the way to the left. So all the way to the left. And now if you scroll backwards across it, I'm going to go to fit in window. If you scroll back across time, it's going to look like it's moving across. So yeah, there we go. Oh, I've got a little bit of some goof ups in there, but that's okay. You can see it. Sorry, I'm dying today. You can see a little bit of blue right here where I didn't do a very good job, but hopefully you guys did a better job than me. All right, so next step is we're going to create a new layer, and we're going to draw the outline of a car. So I'm going to come down here, click new layer. I'm going to double click it. I'm going to name it car. Now I'm going to just use my paintbrush, pick a color that I want to use. I'm going to pick the color orange because everyone loves orange cars. I'm going all the way back to frame 1. And now I'm going to draw a car. Just hand draw it. Doesn't have to be fancy. I mean, we're really not looking for anything super nice here. Mine has a spoiler because it go fast, vroom, vroom. Make sure that you complete your circle, and then we're going to use the fill, and we're going to fill it in. Go ahead and do the same kind of thing to draw in some headlights, taillights, whatever you want to do. I'm going to do my taillights first. We're just going to draw those in. I'm doing a really bang up job on this, and then I'm just going to fill it. And then I'm going to draw my headlights also, change my color to probably like a white. And then I'm just going to try not to go outside the lines, and then I'm going to fill it. And now I want to draw the glass. And so I'm going to go back and pick kind of a glassy color. I may have to create one, so I'm going to just come down here, kind of get it a little bit unsaturated. Right about there is good. And now I'm just going to draw the windows. And it's got a front window, so we're going to draw that too as best we can. And now I'm going to fill all these with the same color. Oh, shoot. So if it does that, I've got a problem. And you can see it's right here. I didn't finish joining the two together, so I'm just going to paint that in. And now I should be able to fill it. Yeah, there we go. We're good now. All right, so I'm going to just do the color black, and I'm just going to fill in some of the details like the door. Here's your doors. Here's your fender panels. You know, just some normal. Here's the handle. Here's the antenna if your car still has one of those. Yeah, so here we go. We've got that filled in. We've got kind of everything done, but we need some tires. So we're going to do something. We're going to create a new layer. We're down here on step 18, and we're going to call it wheels. So create a new layer. I'm going to call it wheels. And now we're going to do something a little bit crazier. We're going to do something with a symbol. So we're going to go up to insert, and we're going to hit new symbol. So insert, new symbol right at the top. And we're going to call this wheels. And I'm going to hit OK. And now what we want to do, this is your center point right here. So we want to draw a circle around this center point. This tells us to draw a oval, use the oval tool, white fill, black stroke, 10 to 20 point stroke. So the stroke is going to be our tire. And I've got a black fill. I'm going to change it to a white fill. I'm going to change this to a black stroke. And I'm going to increase the stroke size to probably, I'm going to make mine even bigger to like 27. And so we want to try to center it on this. So I'm going to hold down my shift key so that it's like a perfect circle. And I'm going to go to my selection tool, triple click it, and I'm going to try to get it like as centered as possible. And that looks mostly okay. And then the next step is to use the line draw tool to draw spokes. If you don't know what spokes are, those are the things that connect the wheels and the tires. So I'm gonna hold the shift key down so I get some straight lines. Oh, my stroke is just way too thick. So I'm gonna hit Control Z to undo that. I'm gonna turn my stroke down to about 7. And now I'm just gonna draw one line across, holding my shift key down, one line down, except I didn't quite get that one right. So I'm gonna click it and try to move. Oh, nope, it's gonna give me fits. So I'm gonna undo and undo and undo. I'm gonna try to draw that line again, and just to get it exactly centered. I mean, I'm not gonna get it exact. I'm just trying my best. Okay, and there's my janky kind of wheel. So here we go. We're good. So now we're gonna animate this wheel symbol. So we're gonna go to frame 10. We're gonna insert a keyframe. We're going to right click. I think we're gonna right click. Let me double check. I don't wanna mess up the directions. Yeah, we're gonna right click here, create a classic tween like we normally do. And now we're gonna come over here, under properties, under frame, under tweening, we're gonna go to rotate, and we're gonna go to, your instructions say CCW, that means counterclockwise. So counterclockwise is what we're doing. So if we hit play, it rotates. I mean, it looks kind of janky, but it's rotating, so we're gonna take it. All right, so back to the instructions. Go back to scene 2. So up here, we're gonna click this back arrow to go to scene 2. And now we're gonna come over to library, and we're just gonna make sure we're on wheels, and we're gonna click, hold, and drag this down. Now, it's a little bit too big, so I'm gonna just shrink it to make it fit. I'm gonna shrink mine just a little bit more. Okay. And now I'm gonna hit Control C to copy it and Control V to paste it. So I get the exact same size, which is what I want. And I'm just gonna put it right there. And I made my front wheel a little smaller, so I'm gonna shrink it just a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and hit Control Enter. Oh, well, here we go, Control Enter. And it should automatically change. Yes, so you can see our car is going down the road. It's looking, man, it's looking good. So this is our whole video right here. Look how great that looks. Yeah, fantastic. All right, so now what you're gonna do, I'm gonna close this. We're gonna come up here, we're gonna hit File. You're gonna save it. Do not forget to save it. My supercar 2, because I've made several of these. And I'm just gonna save that. And we're gonna finish this up tomorrow. So that's all you need to get done today. Work on that, and we will get that done and turned in tomorrow. All right, guys, hope y'all have a great day. See you next